Yo, guys, what's going on? Oh, that's not what I'm supposed to look at. I have my porn tab pulled up. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, guys, what's going on? Welcome to the post Sutherland Q&A. You got questions? Maybe you don't, and or we have answers. So we're just gonna go live for a little bit. It's me. You guys already know me if you're on my channel. And this is Xavier. He's a cinematographer, editor, and producer for the project. And we just figured we would go live after watching Sutherland. And if you guys have any questions or you just want to tell us how awful it is, we'll be here to listen to you guys. So here we are. Is there a delay for you? I hear like a major lag.
It's super far.
Is it really?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. Jackson says, great. Not a question, but I love the lighting. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
You can tell our gaffer how much great work he put into it. No, I agree. That's something that a lot of people I feel like neglect a lot in indie films. I know I made that mistake a lot a few years ago when I first started making stuff. Like the lighting was like not good at all. Yeah, those were some pretty crazy lighting setups. The thing that was really hard about it, we did clash a little bit with our gaffer on the lighting setups because we shot it really wide. Because X and I both wanted to do like really wide angles and like panning shots around the house inside. And that obviously makes it harder to hide the lights when you do that. So our gaffer was like, didn't he say something about like, yeah, you guys should like try to switch to a tighter lens or something? And
yeah,
and we were like,
go to a tighter lens a few times, or just did lighting setups that we didn't want.
Yeah,
or that I didn't want at least. Yeah,
and that's how I felt too. I was like, no, but we found a way to make it work. Like that was probably the longest part on set. I would say was just the lighting setups. I would say that was probably what took the longest.
The most challenging part of filming? I mean, for me, I would say the ending scene. It's mainly because the whole gaffer thing. So having to light the outside scene where Cassie's walking to the barn and then Alan's walking back was kind of difficult because just situations that happen on set.
So yeah, there was yo, what's up, Scar? What's poppin', dude? So yeah, just to kind of piggyback off of that, what X said, I would say that I would say the outdoor scene, especially the barn, was probably the hardest thing. That was the last day of shooting too, but due to reasons, we had very limited lights. I'll say that. We had to work with very, very tight. We had a lot of constraints. We didn't have a lot to work with, and we had to light up an area that had almost no lighting at all. And that was hard because, like, again, like I posted this stupid meme the other day on Instagram where it was like, "Why doesn't your outdoor shots look good?" And it was like a behind the scenes clip of Nope where they have like that giant, like, I don't even know what are they called? X?
Moonlight.
Yeah.
Moonlight.
Yeah, where they have them on like a crane, and it's like those things are like hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it's like it's so hard to shoot outside, especially when there's not a lot of natural light around, because like where the house is situated, that area where the barn is very, very, very dark.
We had to run power from your grandparents' house.
Yeah, we had to run power from the house all the way to the barn, and with like 200-foot extension cables. We just had like a few of them hooked up, and we did what we could. We had our gaffer walk around with a light behind X, who was on the Steadicam, and to light everything. And that was another reason why it was so hard, is because not just from a lighting perspective, but because the Steadicam that X used, those things are fucking heavy. And we did take after take after take, and yeah, that was a struggle. I'll let you talk about that, but I remember you were getting kind of fed up with that.
No, it wasn't. I mean, the gimbal had fallen.
That's where you got fed up. Yeah.
Out of my control, and that's what got me, I guess, upset in that moment, because obviously we still had to get like 2 more shots, I think, at that point, and they all needed to be on the gimbal. So if that gimbal went, it would have changed the way we had to shoot the last 2.5 scenes of the movie. So, but yeah, I mean, to go back to that question, yeah, I think the hard part was just that whole scene, just with the lighting and then the gimbal falling, and having to coordinate me, the sound guy, and the gaffer to be with the light and move all at the same time.
Yeah, it's a lot harder than people think it is. Like, especially doing a oneer in general. Like, that was a conversation that we had a long time ago, and like we went to my grandparents' house several times. And yeah, we shot the film like I think twice before we actually filmed it for real. Like, we went out there once with an iPhone and got a lot of the shots and talked about where the characters were going to walk and stuff like that. And then we went out again with Xavier's camera that we actually shot the film with. And then we got the shots with that too, a little bit more refined. So by the time it was shooting, like by the time it was like the week of shooting, we basically just like we knew exactly the shots we needed to get because we already got them. So we just told our gaffer how we wanted to light the scenes, rehearse with the actors. I say just as if like it wasn't a lot of work. It was, but yeah. So we, the longest part was definitely like lighting stuff, because once we had the shots after we went multiple times and had the shots like really honed in, like it wasn't that hard. And once the actors were super, super great. So like by the time we were actually like filming, they knocked it out of the park. It's just setting up is just what takes so long. Like the actual filming, like when you're rolling the camera and the actors are doing their thing, it's like, I swear to God, that's like 20% of it. That's like not that much, which is crazy to think about. That was something that I didn't know until I actually started shooting short films and stuff. It's like the actual literal filming of pressing record and doing the thing is like the very small percentage of actually being on set. A lot of it's just setting up.
Easiest part.
Yeah, it's the easiest part is like the actors do their thing and you just sit behind the camera and be like, okay, cut, now let's do it again. So
if you can go back and change anything, what would it be?
There's a lot of ways you can answer that. Like in terms of like technically, story wise, there's not really much I would change about who we used. Like from cast and crew, I don't think there's really anything I would change there. Sorry, I keep hearing myself back and it's throwing me off. Trying to think.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I would change. I mean,
I think story-wise, there's a few things I would change. I feel like I'm always going to be like that. Like going back and hearing dialogue that I wrote, I'm going to nitpick it and be like, oh, I could have written this differently. Like, there's definitely things dialogue-wise that I could have done differently. I would say the only thing I would have changed was maybe provide a little bit more context to what was happening. Like with the haunting, I would say probably provide more context for that, because it's so ambiguous that I wanted it to be ambiguous. I wanted people to come to their own conclusions about what it was, but yeah, it's I would say probably that is the number one thing. I would maybe not have the whole thing be at night. I don't know, because that was grueling.
I mean, I liked it,
but it's fun. I like that it all takes place in like real time, but we shot the whole thing in 5 nights, but you'd never know it. So, any new movie ideas? Scar, that's a good question. We got a new movie idea or two, don't we? 1 or 2. So we're in pre-production for a Raven's Call right now, which is a Cherokee Indian horror film. We're in the very early stages of that. There's still a lot of moving parts. We're raising funds for that. We got a special announcement at the end of this, by the way, about that. But there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes. It's progressing. A lot of progress is being made. I was location scouting last weekend in Cherokee, North Carolina. Met some great people. Been learning a lot of stuff, having a bunch of very productive conversations in the last week. So it's coming together. There's definitely gonna be some changes, but yeah, that's the next big thing we're working on is that Cherokee horror film, and we're planning to shoot it early next year, but depending on some of these changes that we might make to the project, it might be longer, but we'll see. We have a lot that we're figuring out right now. It's an ever changing process. But yeah, that's the big thing we're working on right now. And then X and I are doing the 48-hour film project in October, on the weekend of the 21st to the 23rd, which is where you make a horror film in 48 hours. So that's the next thing. Oh yeah, and then Simpleton, which we're doing with Greg.
Yeah, I was about to say Simpleton. Yeah.
Simpleton with Greg, which is a comedy series that I'm co-directing. X is producing and acting as cinematographer, and I'm co-directing it with Greg Selden, who wrote the script for the series, and it's basically about this guy who's like a pushover trying to find himself. So we finished the first 2 episodes of that. You guys can find that on my channel too. They're already up there. You just go into the short film playlist. They're there. But yeah, we just dropped the 2nd episode a couple weeks ago, and it's people loved it. So, and I love it. So, but yeah, we're trying to get the rest of that series done for sure. Oh, Mom's in the chat. What's up, Mom? She said the actors were great. Did they ad-lib at all? I would say 30% of what they said was ad-libbed, maybe. Something like that.
I feel like they stayed on script for the most part.
I was looking back at the script earlier, because when I was having captions made for the film, I was looking and I was like, did they say this was an ad-lib? I was like, oh, I did write that. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know we gave them, like, some of the last takes, they could do what they wanted, but I think when we put it together, we kind of just went off the script, like.
Yeah, I kind of like having them abide by the script, and then the last couple takes, they'll just say whatever the hell they want. But I would say the 2 parts where they ad-lib, or maybe 3 parts where they ad-lib the most, when the camera's panning around the living room, a lot of that where he starts talking about like the nutcrackers and, oh, you like the door? And then she starts like pointing at things and says, I'm just looking. Like all of that was pretty much ad-libbed. We did a few takes of that. They said different things. Going up the stairs. That entire bit where he was like, oh, Daddy gonna take care of you. That was ad-libbed. We had another take that I kind of wanted to use where like I think she bumps one of the pictures. Doesn't she bump one of the pictures? And we
didn't use that.
We didn't use that one, but that one was funny. They played that very well. And then also in the hall when they're walking towards the bedroom, he was talking about wanting to listen to like some Jamaican Caribbean music. All that was ad-libbed. So it's like those moments where the characters are walking from one place to another. We just had them just say whatever, and they had natural chemistry. That's another thing when you don't do like chemistry tests and stuff like that. You're like, oh fuck, I hope these people actually have chemistry. And that was one of the things that I'm like so thankful for, because not only are they both talented, you can have talented people but have them not have chemistry, and they did. And when I was watching it again to edit the captions earlier today, I was like, damn, they really do have good chemistry. I was like, they did such a great job acting like a real couple. They were fantastic. Any possibility you'd be able to make a 1 to 2 hour movie? You mean like a full length feature film? We're talking about it. I don't know if you mean like in general or you mean like
the possibilities are there. The funds.
The possibility is there.
That's what it is.
Listen, guy. Listen. I have a very cursed brain, and one day I'll want to make one film, and the next day I want to make something different. Like one day I'll be like, yeah, I think a feature-length version of Sutherland would be kind of cool. I'll start brainstorming that, and then like a day or two later, I'll be like, what if a Raven's Call should be a feature film? That might be kind of cool. And then I'll think of like a third idea. So stuck on 2 right now, but I'm getting to the point now where I'm about ready to do a feature film. It's just a matter of locking down which one do I want to do more, or we want to do more, and also the big thing is which one is the most feasible to shoot, because you need money to shoot a feature film, and we're gonna need money for it. So that's the other big thing, and we'll crowdfund, do film grants, reach out to whoever we can to try to get it made. But yeah, we're definitely talking about it.
A Southern Fallout made by you? Is Fallout what Joe did?
Yeah, Joe did a Fallout fan film. So Joe, who worked on this film, he was the grip. Joe's cool as hell, and he's a huge Fallout fan. And he did a Fallout fan film that we screened at Good Film Friday, or earlier this year in April. You can check. What's it called again? Chems.
I don't know if he has it.
I think he has it on YouTube.
See if I can find
Yeah, if you go on YouTube and you type in Chems fan, like Fallout fan film, it'll come up. It's like in black and white. Yeah, if you don't know anything about Fallout, you'll be kind of lost. But if you're a fan of Fallout, you'll appreciate it for sure. But honestly, a Fallout fan film would be kind of cool. That's the thing that X and I were actually talking about before this, before Sutherland premiered, is just the idea of fan films and stuff like that. I like fan films. I had an awesome time with Batman Dawn of Fear, but I'm like, I don't want to get caught in that rut of just making fan films. But they are fun, though. I will say that. They're really fun.
And that's the YouTube link to it, if you want to check it out.
Did you put it in chat?
Yeah.
My chat must be slow as balls. Let me see. Let me refresh it. Is my like computer taking a crap? Because like, I was gonna say I don't see it.
I mean, I'll put it. I don't know.
Let's see.
If you see a Scarface, there it is.
There it is. Go give it a like. Go support it. Oh no, I didn't see your link at all. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, Good Film Friday was a lot of fun. We keep talking about doing. What'd you say?
We'll be back.
We'll be back. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
Yeah, that was a blast. Like hosting a whole event, having a bunch of people come out. That was a ton of fun. I have seen. I think I saw Fallout Red Star, that fan film. I saw that a few years ago. But yeah, I agree. Like a Fallout game or film set in the South would be kind of cool. Like a bunch of mutated crocodiles or something. Yeah, it'd be kind of cool. But yeah, we want to do another Good Film Friday, which is an event that that was where we first screened Sutherland for the first time back in April. We did it as a way to showcase Sutherland, but I was like, okay, but I don't want to just have people come out just for one, 12-minute short film. So we're like, let's make a whole event out of it and screen a bunch. So we screened a bunch of short films from other filmmakers and people we know, and it was a big turnout. I think it sold out the theater. It sold like 100 tickets or something.
150 people came?
Yeah, 150 people came, and it was a blast. And there was, yeah, it was great. I was tipsy as hell. That's how I got through it. I was anxious, bro.
I mean, I was too until halfway through Sutherland. And it was the last film, right? That was the last film.
Sutherland was the last one. Yeah, I was fine up until the screening. Like all the other screenings, and when Sutherland started playing, I was like, oh fuck. It's not as bad here because I'm not seeing these people in person. Yeah. It's still a little bit nerve-wracking, but like being in person with a crowd of 100 people and then having the credits start rolling on screen, you're just like, oh fuck. People can even like this shit. But yeah, the crowd went crazy for it. It was an absolute blast. Yeah, that was fun. That was so worth it. And I'm like, now I just want to do more horror films. That's another thing too.
And then we just did Simpleton.
And then we just did Simpleton, yeah, which is something completely different. And like, I want to do a comedy too. Like, I want to write and do a comedy, but like, I've just been having fun with horror, man. It's a blast. But who knows? Who knows? We might do a comedy horror for the 48-hour film project. We'll see.
Right.
We'll see what we get, man.
Shaun of the Dead.
That movie's funny though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm down. How much of a delay is there? It was like a 30-second delay. Is that Nicole listening to it?
Yeah, she listening in the back, and yeah, it's like super. I just muted it off the computer, so I'm just listening to you.
Mute, listen to me ramble. Yeah.
It was too much.
Y'all need to do a comedy. You have always been our comedian. Y'all make it sound like I'm like you're like. I'm like the court jester of the family.
Yeah, you are. You're the dunce, bro.
Yeah, dude. I'm the punching bag. Yeah, I think a lot of my family were surprised that I started doing horror stuff because they're like, "You're the fucking idiot of the family. What are you doing? Like, you're not supposed to be doing horror films. Like, why are you doing that?" I was like, I don't know.
I mean, comedy is a hard thing. People don't realize that. But
I think that's where a lot of it.
Timing.
Yeah, it's
timing. You need people to be able to deliver the timing too, like those punchlines or whatever it is. Like, yeah, it's not easy.
I think a lot of it is like, I think I'm funny and I think I can make people laugh, and I've been able to do that since I was a kid. But it's different when you're writing a script and you're trying to make people laugh. Like there's a difference between having a conversation and saying something silly and making people laugh, and as opposed to like, okay, I have to like physically write jokes. It's completely different. And I think for me, I'm like, it's easier to make people scared or unsettled than it is to make people laugh, like in the form of a comedy. But I don't know. Like I said, I think I wanted for the 48-hour film project, regardless of whatever genre we get, there is a part of me that's like, I kind of just want to put a comedic spin to it just for the hell of it. Because Simpleton kind of like sparked that in me. I'm like, I do want to do something funny though. I really do. Bumbles, what's up, man? What's up, dog? Welcome.
I guess it would just. I mean, I don't know. That's one of the categories? Comedic horror, I think.
I think one of the So they're all. For those of you guys who don't know, when you get the 48-hour film project, you get assigned a genre on the kickoff. So like, you have 48 hours to make the film, and at the kickoff, you get 2 genres to choose from. You get a prop, a character, and a line that needs to be said in the movie. And we're doing the horror 48, which means they're all horror genres. So it'll be like, I don't know, like what are the different genres? One will be like
zombie,
alien, zombie, clown, ghosts, creepy toys, found footage. There's different genres within horror that you can get, and you can pick one or both. But like, for example, if we got found footage, there's nobody telling me that I can't make it comedic. As long as it fits within the realm of the genre that's assigned, I can still do it. Like, I can make a funny found footage or ghost or alien, whatever I get. But I've noticed that at these...
I guess...
Go ahead.
I guess you would just, like, fall on that, like, you wouldn't want to make it too funny, because then I guess it gets away from the horror.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like... Yes, that's a tough road. As far as like, how funny can you make it but still have it be scary?
I feel like you need more time for that. Like, I feel like with something like Nope or Get Out, it's easier to have funny moments in between the horror. Like even Barbarian. All right, so I've been talking up this movie for like the last 2 weeks because it's fantastic. So Barbarian is a horror movie that's in theaters now, and this movie I think is genuinely fucking creepy. It has scary moments in it, but it also has some funny stuff in there. But the thing is, the movie's long enough that it gives itself enough time to breathe between the humor and the scary moments. I feel like if you do a short film, you got to do either one or the other. Like if you're working with like an 8-minute time frame, you can't be jumping around between making people laugh and making people scared constantly. I feel like it's just not really gonna work. But I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm saying, like, if we do it for that, if you want to take the 48 to a little more comedic side with it, like, I guess we just, like I said, make sure we don't navigate too far off the horror side.
Yeah, of course.
Horror, festival at the end of the day.
But the thing that gets me is that, like, so when I did it in 2019, our film, The Collector's Chest, won a bunch of awards, and, like, some would argue that it's not even really a horror film. Like, we did it for the horror competition, but, like, it wasn't...
Oh, was it?
Yeah, we did that for the Horror 48 in 2019, but it wasn't like... You've seen it, right? I don't know if you have, but, like...
I probably interviewed, like, when we first met, so I'd have to rewatch it.
But, like, it's not scary. It's more of, like, a eerie drama,
Yeah.
So... But the only concern that I have with comedy is I'm like... I don't think the judges usually like that. And I don't want to like make a film for the judges, but typically I don't think they're huge. Like from what I've seen from the ones that win these competitions and win these awards, they're not usually the comedies. They're usually the real dramatic ones. So the artsy fartsy ones, if you will. Yeah, I'd agree. Especially if you're building tension, comedy will break that. I agree. So, like, again, without spoiling anything, you can have big tonal shifts in a movie, but I think you have to allow time for it. There's a moment in Barbarian that you're like, oh my god, this is terrifying. And then they completely rip you out of that scary moment and thrust you somewhere completely different. And it's something more lighthearted and funny. And it's... Some people may not like it, but I thought it was fine. It could be a little jarring though, but yeah, I agree. Like if you're building tension to like a big scary moment and you have like little moments of comedy in there, it's not like, it's not really gonna work. With Sutherland, I wanted to add like some cutesy, like it's not a comedy, but like I think the characters say stuff to each other that's kind of funny. Like they mess around with each other. They're cute with each other. There were times, I mean, I was laughing at some of the things that they would say. But like when shit hits the fan halfway through, it's like that the whole time. They're not cracking jokes or anything. It's them like, okay, we're just hanging out, we're drunk, we're a young, happy, horny couple, and then now, oh my god, there's some dude outside creeping in on us. What the fuck?
Kill a teddy bear.
Won first place. My mom was not happy about that. There was the one that won the 2019 horror one. There was it was like a teddy bear, I think, like murdered somebody or something like that. I thought the concept behind it was kind of cool. I enjoyed that.
Do they post these like?
Yeah, they have them. They have them all from past years on their YouTube channel. I haven't watched any of the 48-hour films that they. I
have to check. Gotta check the past winners, man.
I know. See what they did. So you gotta emulate it, right?
Or at least, kind of get a grasp on what they, I guess, like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was I forget the name of the team, but they won. I remember when I did the 2019 competition. It wasn't the horror one. I did the regular one in July, and then the horror one in the fall. When I did the regular 48-hour in July, there was some team that was like announced, and somebody leaned over towards me and said they've won the last 3 years in a row, and I was like, "Oh, really?"
Yeah, I mean that happened with,
and they won again.
The one I did in Tennessee, yeah. That was the one I did in Tennessee, and whatever. That was a whole like political thing. So
yeah,
it happens sometimes. That's the only thing that kind of sucks about them. Like I enjoyed it, and I like.
Oh yeah, they're a blast.
Forcing yourself to create a film within the time limit that they give you, whatever restrictions. But I've noticed that a lot of them end up being that there's like a political agenda behind it. It's like, okay, so it's like we just made this just for you guys to have, technically,
Yeah.
Not really benefit anybody else. But hopefully it's different with this one. I don't know. Hopefully we take killer teddy bears off the mantle.
I'm fine with killer teddy bears. There was one.
I'm gonna look it up.
There was one really funny one that I think it won most likely to be a cult film. It was like this guy dressed up in this. It was like some backwoods hillbilly thing where this guy was like mutated and he was like hunting people. It was like purposefully bad, but it was like a cheesy slasher sort of thing. It was oh my god, it was fucking hilarious. You want to talk about the political side of things? I'm not going to dive into this too much, but like when we did I think it was the Horror 48. This was really, really awkward. So this girl stands up in front of everybody. My mom will remember this because she got annoyed at this. But this girl stands up in front of in front of the crowd and was saying how she was really proud of how diverse her team was and wanted the other teams to talk about their diversity. And I was just like, I don't really know what to say to that. Like, I don't know. I felt like it was like kind of setting up people that didn't have as diverse teams to kind of just fumble through and be like, you know what I mean? It's kind of hard to explain, but I remember it being really, really, really awkward at the screening because there were people out there who didn't have as diverse teams. There was like mostly a bunch of white folks, and people were just like, I mean, I don't really know what to say. It's like we just got who we could to be in this project. I don't know. Yeah. I just remember being really uncomfortable. Like even the director of it, like of the whole thing, was like really like kind of like, okay, it's a weird question to ask.
She won nothing.
She won nothing, I might add. That is true. She didn't win any awards.
She won best diversity.
She did.
Good for them.
And listen, I think it's great. Like, you know, have a diverse team. I think it's fantastic. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. It was just like kind of putting people on the spot in a way that was like completely unnecessary, and I'm like, what's the point of this?
Yeah,
I don't know, just a little awkward. Yeah, but
as long as we work together, you always have a check mark in that.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. That's why I got you on my team, dude.
We got the Hispanics behind us.
That's right. That's what it's about.
Yep.
No, but I'm really excited for this year. Last I checked, there was like only 6 slots left for the 48 this year. Like there's like 20
teams signed up.
There's a lot of teams. I was worried about it because last year I don't think there was very many. They didn't do the horror one last year, but this year they're doing it again. They brought it back for the first time in like 2-3 years because 2020 they didn't do it. In 2021 they didn't do it. So there's like nearly 30 teams.
Teddy Bear is at top, so that is the one we have to take out. Are you looking
at the website?
No, I should though. Well, you said it's on the YouTube, right? Yeah,
it's on their YouTube. Yeah, you can go to their YouTube, the Richmond 48-Hour Film Project, and see all the past films. Well, those that won and those that didn't. They just put all of them there. Yeah, I just like going to the event and just seeing all the films. Yeah, that was a fun shoot. That was super, super fun. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Sutherland. Guys, what questions? I know we're rambling about other shit. Guys, what questions do you have for Sutherland? It's already 1 a.m. Everybody's probably going to bed right now. But if you guys have any more questions about Sutherland, we are happy to answer them real quick before we all take off and get some shut-eye. You can ask us anything. I don't care. Anything. Did X and I have a love affair on set? Maybe. You know, like these are things that people want to know. We got answers, man.
You're so dope. It's so dope.
No, yeah, I'll tell you something funny though. I'll tell you something funny. So, X, this is one of the things that X hates about working with me. So I have to be obviously when I don't have one of those portable monitors that I can look at. Naturally, I have to be by the camera to see what's on the monitor. So who else is looking through the monitor? This guy. So because I have to crowd around him when he's looking through it, I'm breathing on his neck. And he mentions it all the time. He's like, bro, you're like breathing on my fucking neck right now. I'm like, sorry. So like, I'll be sitting there And this will be like the microphone will be like his neck, and I'm just like, yeah, we'll do another take. Just like
just open mouth breathing.
Just open mouth breathing, just like a little moan. I'll let out a moan or two.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah. So it gets X a little excited on set, but that's okay. We won't talk about that.
Yeah,
we'll keep it PG.
2 a.m. mark.
We hit that 2 a.m. mark. We'll still talk about, dude. We can't have these conversations late at night because they'll start saying some shit. But yeah, I have a bad habit apparently of breathing too heavy and standing too close on set. I'm like a fucking creep. I'm just like, oh, run that back. Run that back again. Oh my god. They covered this in the first story for Progress Index, but I still feel bad about this. I don't know if Christine's here. She probably went to sleep. But like, I felt so bad on Sutherland because I was like, you know what, we're shooting a horror film. I feel like we need to scare somebody on set. Like, we need like funny stories of people scaring each other. So I hid in one dark corner while Christine was walking by, who obviously plays Cassie in the film, and like I jumped out and scared the fuck out of her. And I don't think she was happy about it at all. Like she was like, it wasn't like, you scared me. Like she was like fucking, she looked like she was fucking pissed. And she may not have been, but she looked like she was fucking mad. And I was like, I like apologized like 7 times. I was like, I am so sorry. I was just trying to fuck around. She's like, it's fine. She was all sweet about it. But when it happened in the moment, she was just like, she looked like she wanted to fucking punch me. I was like, I am so sorry.
I don't remember hearing that.
Oh my god. It's funny now, but in the moment I felt bad. I felt terrible about it. But yeah, that was great.
Didn't she get like locked in the room upstairs?
Yeah, she had like
she was pissed, bro. She got locked and you were scaring her. She was like,
yeah, so
ready to get out of here.
So Christine, like one of the bedrooms upstairs that we didn't film in was kind of like her holding room. Like that was where she had all of her stuff and changing all that stuff. So while she was in the room changing, she closed the door, and then the lock wouldn't work. Like the door handle would not open. And again, this is a 200-year-old Civil War home, which some people have said is haunted. And the door locked itself, and she couldn't get out. And at one point, she was literally screaming for help. She told us. She said she was screaming for help, and nobody heard her. And she eventually just fiddled with the lock because, like, where I don't know what part it is, but underneath the knob is, like, open. And she eventually just fucked around with it and got herself out. But that happened twice. And I was like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. She's going to think we're holding her captive.
Then you scared her on top of that, so I'm pretty sure she was pissed.
Yeah. I know.
I felt up for this shit.
I mean, she doesn't hate me yet.
Have you ever thought about what you'd do if Sutherland was a feature length?
That's what I've been thinking about recently. Because like I said earlier, Bumbles, I don't know if you were here for this, but I was saying how like I keep going back and forth with what I want to do first for a feature, whether it be a feature version of Sutherland or the possibility of turning A Raven's Call into a feature. I don't know. I keep going back and forth. Like, should we shoot A Raven's Call as a short film and then make it a feature later? I don't know. There's a lot of thoughts running through my mind, but I definitely have ideas for making Sutherland a feature. I would definitely reveal more about what's happening. Obviously, as a short film, I kept it ambiguous. I didn't reveal a whole lot of what this thing is, this soldier, whoever that is, you know, after Cassie. We didn't reveal anything about it. But if I were to do a feature film, it wouldn't necessarily follow Cassie and Alan for 90 minutes. It would basically be like, okay, it would be kind of it would be more inspired by that concept of there's this creepy farmhouse, there's something old, there's something ancient about this place, and there's something alive, someone or something alive in it. Like, why did it take her? Where did it take her? what was it? Like, those are things that I would explore in a feature film. With a short, just kind of just get the tone across. You can kind of get an idea, get the brain flowing of like, oh, what was that? Was that a ghost? Was it this? Whatever. But like in a feature film, obviously I would flesh that out and probably have the, I don't know. I'm still thinking about it, but I would want something really old and ancient about the property and the farmhouse to play a role in the film. It wouldn't be what a lot of people think Sutherland is, which is just a simple ghost story, because it's not, and that's not how I wrote it. Technically not, and that's all I'm going to say about it. It's not that. And the feature film would explore, okay, what's actually happening and why. And yeah, I don't know. I'm still thinking about that. I kind of want to do a treatment or an outline of what the feature film would look like and be like, okay, let's see if we can do this. Because
you think any of them caught John outside?
I was gonna ask. Now it's my turn to ask questions, people. Where was the first time that you guys caught John? So John Witt, great actor, good friend. 4-hour Corbin cut. Yeah, dude, let's do it, man. The 4-hour Corbin cut of Sutherland. So John Witt was the guy who was outside the house being creepy. When was the first time you guys noticed him? Because he's in the film, he's in the background watching from the very beginning. He's in the very first scene. He's just really hard to spot. And I love asking people, like, when's the first time you noticed him? Most people say the mirror in the living room, I think, right?
Yeah.
When they're leaving the living room and going upstairs, most people have said that's where they saw him. So, yeah. But poor John.
I wonder, right? The question to call ask, like, what would be something you would change? Like, I don't know if I would try to make him more obvious or keep him how he is. Just because, like, I feel like a lot of people miss it, as much as, like, we weren't trying to make it obvious, but maybe it's too hidden. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with the door, like, I feel like people don't catch that door scene enough. Like, like, I think for me, those would be the two things. Like, again, I like how John is seen throughout it, but maybe make it a little more obvious. And then that door scene, like, I just feel like people miss it. They don't get that.
It's meant to be.
But I could be wrong. I don't know. I could
be
wrong. But it's so fast, right? It's all one take, and I don't think people are really, like, because they're looking at her, so I don't think they're paying attention. But maybe they do.
Exactly.
But I feel like a lot of these little details we put into it kind of get overlooked, or just don't get processed because it's too fast.
No, I agree. That was another thing that we talked about on set a lot, was how obvious do we want to make John? Because, in terms of, like, the story and stuff, I like the idea that he's always there. He's always present. He's always watching. Even from the very beginning when, nothing has happened, shit hasn't hit the fan yet, he's still there. From the very first scene, from the very first frame, when they fade in, he's out the kitchen window and he's watching inside. But I agree. I think one of the things we probably could have changed was maybe make him a little bit more obvious. But I kind of wanted to be
closer. I don't know.
A little bit closer. But I kind of wanted. I was inspired by that from, like, the whole Haunting of Hill House thing that Mike Flanagan did, where, like, he had all these hidden ghosts, like dozens of them throughout the series. And I'm like, I want to do that, have him be present, so that when people watch it again, they'll be like, oh shit, I noticed him there, and he was in this window, and he was in that one. Like, to me, I wanted to create an experience that was rewatchable. And going back to the whole door thing, and again, I don't know how many people caught this, and I want to ask people in the chat, like, how many of you guys actually caught that when Cassie's on the phone in the kitchen, the door opens behind her in the foyer that they walk past near the stairs. You literally hear and see it open.
Well, it's closing as if
somebody walked in. Yeah. And I was gonna say, I don't know how many people noticed it or caught it. Because I don't think I've heard anybody tell me that they've.
No, I feel like they, they might get it confused with the door that Alan walks out of.
Yeah.
Right, because he walks out of a door, so then the next thing you do is you hear a door close, so they might assume it's that one, even though you can hear him. But the door closing is technically for the door behind her.
Yeah.
Yeah, those little things, I don't know. I feel like if I had to change something, maybe get the timing or something. I mean, the time is right, but I just don't know how we would show it better, unless we just actually cut to it, but wanting to keep it a oneer.
I see. I don't like. I didn't want to cut to it because I like the immersion. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So keeping it a oneer is hopefully they catch it, or we talk about it and they're like, oh, no, it didn't. And they go back and rewatch it.
Yeah.
So
it's one of these.
Go rewatch it.
This is one of those things that I hope people will rewatch and be like, oh, I didn't catch this time. Oh, that's kind of cool. And I'm hoping that this film does get a good amount of views on YouTube, because I think it does warrant that kind of discussion. Hey, did you guys notice him in this window? No, I noticed him in this one. Did you guys notice that the door did this? No, I didn't notice that, but I noticed something here. And I wonder if the subtleties are a little too subtle, people don't even notice it at all. So it's kind of that treading that line between having these little Easter eggs and subtle things that, should we make it more obvious or not?
But then it also goes back to taking it out, right? I kind of wanted it to feel like we wasn't there, you didn't feel the camera, it was just happen. And so there's a lot of ways, but that would probably be one thing. Maybe make these little subtleties a little less subtle, so that people see it or feel it or notice it.
Yeah. I guess because we shoot so wide, maybe it's because it's smaller in the frame. It's also harder for people to see. Because I understand why people don't see John. He's very, especially in the very first. They're not looking for him. Yeah.
They don't know. But I wanted it when I brought it up. I wanted it more to be what do you call this? A subconscious feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole story was that, right? It's the person watching them. Just that's always been something that would creep me out, right? Just thinking, especially moving from the city to here, it's just looking out my window and someone just being there already. So just the whole idea of him watching, hopefully, because he's there, subconsciously, these the viewers are on edge, So yes.
Yeah, I think it's so obvious in the living room. I don't know how people haven't caught that.
But it's not though.
I think probably because I'm looking for it, but
the eye, the way that it's filmed, we're panning with them, so it's they're just listening to them conversate, even though his head is right there and you can see it.
When we would,
especially the second where right after the door, he's just it's so. There's a good 5 seconds where it's just him before she even gets to the window, and nobody catches it.
Yeah,
I'm surprised they catch it in the mirror, because I feel the mirror has so many designs.
Oh, I love it. Makes it look all distorted. Yeah.
So it's but people catch that one more.
Yeah, for sure. My mom said she didn't even notice John until Cassie did at the window.
She wrote that when we were talking about the door. So I don't think she even noticed the door.
No, she didn't see the door. She was saying that she noticed when
your mom's watched this that.
My mom's watched 10 times.
She still ain't seen the door, so
she needs her reading glasses on or something.
Yeah.
Come on, Mom. We were talking about I remember. So when we were watch the playback of some of these clips on set, one of the actors or crew members would be watching the monitor, and they would go, it would be silent. They'd be silently watching it, and they would go, "Oh fuck, I forgot John was there." So that would happen a few times. We'd be showing somebody a shot, and they'd be like, "Oh shit, that's John." And I'm like, "Yeah, you kind of forget he's there." But we love John.
I wish I could view the making of this from his point of view, because it's just he was just out the window the whole time.
He was literally
see us inside doing what we're doing, and then we'd be like, cut, and then he just like.
So I think we have a behind the scenes picture because like so when we shot the kitchen scene, John's outside, but the kitchen window is up way higher than like where his head is. So we had to put him on a small ladder and have him sit on top of like it was like a little step ladder with like 3 steps, and he sat on it and just like sat there like this. So he was literally sitting on a ladder just outside watching us inside.
Well, inside, nice and warm.
And didn't
outside?
Yeah, we were all inside, all warm and cozy, and he's just
sitting
outside.
Yeah.
Wasn't Vincent or somebody behind him making sure he doesn't fall?
It was Vincent.
Yeah, so we had.
I think it switched between like Vincent and Joe, maybe.
So we had a crew member. We had a crew member switch out that would sit behind John to make sure that he was, not falling on his ass or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of things that we changed from the original script too. One of the things that I'm so glad we changed on set was, okay, so this is really dumb, and it's so embarrassing just saying it. So when Alan walks to the door after he sees the man outside, in the script, I had him grab a fire poker and walk towards the door. Like, because that's like the closest thing to a weapon that he can find. So he grabs that, is what I wrote in the script. And then when we got to set and we started talking and like talking about him walking towards the door, and I don't remember who brought it up. Maybe you. You were like, do you want to do the fire poker? Do you want to do the little fire poker shot? And I sat there and I was like, it's kind of fucking dumb. I don't think we need to do that at all. You were like, yeah, he doesn't need it. That's kind of silly. I'm like, okay. So we didn't use it at all. And I'm so glad we didn't, because it would have looked so, I think, awkward if he had just... I think it would have broken the whole momentum if we had him walk, grab a fire poker, and then walk towards the front door.
It would have changed the way he shoot it too, right?
Yeah, true.
Like a cut. And to answer Bumbles, it wasn't really cold. We shot in like July, but it was that morning, that morning freshness, I guess.
I mean, he was outside at like from like 11 p.m. to like 2 a.m. just chilling out there, so it wasn't that cold. Yeah. I would say it was like 70s.
Yeah, it was. We try to get his stuff done. Wait, he was only there for one day, and then the last day, something like that, right?
No, he was there for 3 of them.
Was he?
We tried to
because we shot the first day, then the second day we did the wrestling room, and then the last day. So yeah. He only did three out of the 5 days. So we try to get his stuff done pretty fast.
Yeah, he's a grumpy old man. No, he's not.
But yeah.
I'd be like, "Comp me in. Where's the green screen?" Right, dude. We need to get somebody who's good at green screen VFX to do that for us. That way we don't have to stand outside.
We need the practicals, bro.
Need the practicals.
We wouldn't have these stories.
Gotta suffer out in the elements, man.
Yeah. Then we wouldn't have none to tell.
So earlier I mentioned that we had no lighting to light the barn. We did not have access to enough lights to light the last scene. I'll say that. So your boy went to the nearest Lowe's and tried to get like a 200-foot extension cable. And it was the last night of filming, and it was like, I think it was July 4th. We wrapped on like, I think it was July 4th.
Yeah, I think
and there was people sitting out in the parking lot like watching fireworks at Lowe's, and I'm like, this is the most American thing I think I've ever seen. It was great.
We're shooting a horror film, they're being patriotic.
I forget why I did it. I don't know why. I was like, why am I going out to get this? I was like, oh, fuck it, whatever. I forget what the reason was, but I went out to Lowe's.
I think because you were the only one that knew. I don't know. Well, I had to set up, I think, for the shots anyways, the sign. So
there was a reason why. Yeah.
Nobody else had a car,
Right, and I had to go get it, so I was like, fuck it. So I just ran and got it myself, and yeah. And then we had the Steadicam fall over. That was rough. You would have thought somebody on set dropped a baby.
They did. That was my baby. That's
yeah.
the problem.
We had literally 2 shots left of the whole film. We were on the last scene. We had 2 shots left, and the steady
It was
cam.
Alan shot. It was Alan shot in the barn scene.
Yeah, it was Alan walking towards Cassie at the very end, and then it was the barn. Yeah, the barn scene with Alan running around. That was it. That was all we had left. And somebody knocked over the steady cam, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, is it okay?" and all that. And X goes, "I just need everybody to back away real quick." I was like, "Fuck." Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, but we got it. It worked. It wasn't broken beyond repair, so that's good.
Oh, it was. It held on to its. It just happened to hold on.
So do you not have that Steadicam anymore? Is it like completely fucked?
I got a new one. I had to get a new one.
Okay.
I have it for sale. If someone wants to buy it for parts.
You heard it here first, guys. You get to hear about you get to buy the broken Steadicam from Sutherland. The bidding
works, but like maybe for like a smaller camera.
The bidding starts for $5,000. Here we go.
Yeah. Fund the Ravens call.
All funds will go towards the Ravens call. Just saying. Trying to think of other funny stuff that happened. You know, let me think. I kind of wish we had done something in the not dining room. There's like the living room that we shot in with all the paraphernalia. Then there was like, no, that was the den. Then the living room is the room next to the kitchen. That was kind of a holding area.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't shoot anything in there, but it's a cool room.
We used it when we did Within.
Yeah, we shot another.
That's why we were like, we don't want to shoot it. We don't want to use that.
Yeah, we shot another short film there for our grip, Joe. He directed a horror short film and we shot it at my grandparents' house too, and we used that room. But yeah, I don't think we wanted to use it again. We wanted to do other stuff with it, but I mean, we probably could have done more with my grandparents' bedroom too. Maybe, I don't know. Did you ever get a weird like, oh, this place is haunted vibe when you were there?
Me?
Yeah.
No, but I think Nicole said she did.
Nicole did.
Yeah.
For those of you guys listening, X's girlfriend.
Vibe. Oh yeah, upstairs.
Yeah, she said upstairs.
Yeah, Nicole said upstairs.
I wish I did because I love horror shit and I love.
I've never
stuff, but
if
I was by myself or if I was locked in the room like Christine, maybe I would have.
Yeah.
I was always around people, getting the stuff. So I never had like a period where I was just by myself in there.
Yeah, I've never really liked being in that house alone. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I'm a pussy, but like, I don't know. That something about that house kind of like, even when I was alone there cleaning up the last day by myself during the day, and maybe it's my brain psyching me out, but I always just got this feeling that I was being watched. And maybe it's because we just shot Sutherland there, and that was the whole thing about it. But yeah, the upstairs always kind of creeped me out. I don't really know why.
I mean, it definitely is. That hallway is very creepy.
Yeah, the upstairs has always been weird to me. And then I found out that supposedly, who is it that told us this? Somebody told us that somebody died. A kid died upstairs or in that house. I mean, like, it was a hospital during a battle in the Civil War, so there were people that died around that property and in the house. That's confirmed. But I think in like the last 100 years or 150 years, something like that, like not during Civil War times, but after, there was the Sutherland family, which is where it was filmed, that's the title, lived in that house, and I think somebody in that family had like a kid that died in that house. And I was told that my cousin saw the ghost of this kid. Now, she could be full of shit. She usually is. So, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It could be.
I definitely would be creeped out. Like, if I was to go there and be by myself, I would be creeped out.
If you were to go there at night by yourself, all the lights off, yeah. I would when I would spend the night as a kid, I got the creeps there. Like I would like me and my brother would stay over at my grandparents' house some nights, and I was like 7 or 8 years old. I'm like, that house creeped me the fuck out when I was a kid.
I don't know how your grandparents do it, but they do.
They don't care. And I asked my grandma like recently, like after Sutherland, I was like, have you ever seen anything in that house? She was like, nope. I'm like, either you ain't looking or they're not interested in you. I don't know, Grandma.
Yeah, maybe she just.
Or maybe she's lying to me.
Yeah.
See, Jackson says it too. He says it's spooky. He knows what's up.
Yeah, it really is. Should go do a ghost hunt.
I'm down, man. I'd be down. There's there's this one guy on TikTok that I follow, and he does a lot of these ghost hunts and haunted houses and stuff like that, and they're so entertaining to watch because he like uses like a spirit box and like radio and all this stuff to talk to these ghosts, and it's just so entertaining. And I don't know, there's a small part of me that wants to do that. Like, I think I talked to you about the idea of doing a documentary style thing.
Well, yeah, because your mom said she never seen any. But because remember John was talking about how he was talking about ghost stuff, whatever it was. We were going there to test the Steadicam stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it came up. We were like, oh, we could do something. Like, because he knows a lot of, like, ghost shit or ghost stories or whatever it was.
Yeah, John has John told me a story, a ghost story that that I think it was his. Okay, so it was his grandma. This is when John was a kid. His grandma's husband, so I think it was his grandfather, was dead in the hospital. He was sick in the hospital, and he died overnight one night, and they didn't know he had died. They just knew he was sleeping in the hospital. And apparently the ghost of his grandfather appeared to John's mother, the dead guy's daughter, and told her not to worry, I'm going to be fine, I'm going to be okay, I'm passing on to a new life, yada, 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 all that stuff. Yeah. And then she didn't really think, she was just kind of like, okay, maybe I was just dreaming. So the next morning, she brings it up in conversation to her mom, and I don't remember who started the conversation first. I'm probably butchering this. If John's here, he's probably like, that's not how it went.
Yeah, right.
But I think, okay, so in the morning, I think they found out that that John's grandfather died at a specific time. It was like 3:02 a.m. I'm just making it up. It was some time early in the morning. And the John's grandma, the wife of the guy that died, had a very disgruntled look on her face. And then she explained that to her daughter, that I saw my husband appear to me last night and tell me around that time, it was at that time exactly, hey, I'm passing on to a new life, blah, 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 and all that stuff. And the daughter said, I saw him too. And they both compared notes, compared stories, and they both apparently saw the ghost of this dead man appear to them. And I got no reason to doubt John or his family or anything, so I'm like, it's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah. Gotta get John up here, man. Do something with him.
I need to give him some lines. Yeah.
No, I mean like within the ghost stuff, because I know he
I
a lot of stuff.
He does, and like I do kind of want to do it. It would freak me the fuck out to do. If I had a camera crew and people around me, I wouldn't be as scared. If I was alone, I'd be terrified. But to do like a ghost hunting documentary style thing where we explore the most haunted places in like Virginia, that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, bro, let's do it.
Did I tell you about that one place? So we were gonna go last year, but it's closed down now. I was so pissed. We were gonna go last year, we did not go. All of our friends pussed out. They said we don't want to go. It's a mansion in Leesburg, in Northern Virginia. It's huge, and they had a haunted house there. But apparently, for like $100 a night, you could stay the night in this house. It's apparently hundreds of years old. It's super, super old. It's supposedly one of the most haunted places, if not the most haunted place in Virginia, from what I've heard. People say it's really creepy. and there's an underground lake apparently beneath the mansion. Like there's like a cave and a lake, and it's called like the Lake of Souls or something like that. And like people apparently have seen some shit in that house, and we talked about not spending the night there, but just going for the haunted house thing and for the experience, and we didn't end up doing it. So
yeah, and that was closed.
I remember talking about that. Yeah. We talked about doing that at one point. We didn't get to do it, but yeah, that would have been fun, man. And maybe we could still go. I don't know if it's closed down permanently, but when I read that, like,
no, I'll bring Nicole.
You bring Nicole. She'll be all right. She's in tune with all that stuff, right? She'll save us.
Yeah, exactly.
Get her to bring some sage and all that fun stuff.
Got it here.
Get some crosses. She'll know what to do. Mm-hmm. I trust her. Yeah, I'd be down to do that for sure. Let's ask. Do you guys want to see a documentary or explore most haunted places in Virginia?
Or something.
Or something like that.
We just do like a nice little sit-down interview with John, have him tell some stuff.
That could be a whole documentary right there. That man has so many stories.
Start a podcast, bro.
I'd be down.
I'm liking this. It's this little like video podcast type thing.
Yeah.
Interesting. I've never done one of these.
The Paxton Manor?
Paxton Manor.
Is that what it's called? I thought it was called something else.
Gotta look into it.
Maybe it wasn't. Huh. Would watch. 10 out of 10 would watch.
Yeah.
I'll be your host, guys. Most haunted places in Virginia.
I think we have $1 million idea right here, even though it's been done most of the time. But hasn't been done by us. So.
I think I'd make it entertaining.
Yeah,
I could make it fun.
Down.
I mean, all you need.
I told you I did that ghost documentary in Tennessee. Spent the night at the Union Station Hotel.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Did you say you caught some stuff, right?
I did. I put it on my kid's life that is 100% authentic. That none of it was fabricated by us, at least. Mm-hmm. I don't know if somebody in the hotel tried doing something, but as far as us, we were not there. So.
And what did you capture? What was it again?
It sounded so. The story behind it, right? I specifically asked him to stay in the room, so it was room 711, right? Conveniently, and was it 711? 711 or 772? Whatever. We stayed in the room, and apparently, like, a lady was there waiting for her husband and found out that he died in the war, so she jumped out the window. You know, it was like just a lot of stuff from that room. But so whatever, you know, I did like the typical, you know, ghost documentary thing, and I put up a camera, right? And I took the crew out to go eat. You know, we went to go eat pizza. So we come back, and you know, I go. We had to wait for the lady because we were only allowed to. Well, they told us if we wanted, whoever we wanted to talk to would be the night lady because she is the most of the stuff because it's nighttime.
Yeah.
So we were waiting for her. So, you know, I'm listening through, and I hear this like what sounds like a man crying, right? But it's like very weird. It's not like, you know, I don't know. It's just, you know, whatever. And it sounds like the door handle on the inside is shaking, or from like the bathroom, right? Like, so, yeah, it was just that. It was this guy he did like this moaning, crying noise. But again, it sounds from inside. So what I did after I heard it was I went outside and try to like talk loud and all that. You can't really hear it from the inside, but it's so clear.
Yeah.
That it's just like, yeah, it was just very creepy. And like my sister was there, and Josh was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You can ask him. Like, gives me chills still thinking about it. Like
I remember you showed me that footage, and I heard the soundbite from it, and I definitely heard something. I'm not sure what it was, but I was like, that's a little weird.
It was weird. And then, like I said, the door handle, like, it would only come from the bathroom based on, like, how the doors were. Mm-hmm. But it was, like, inside. It wasn't outside. So,
yeah.
it was just weird. And, again, we did nothing, but I don't know if maybe somebody in the hotel just. I don't know. I don't know if someone would be like, "Oh, these guys are here. Go fuck with them."
Yeah.
So like, I feel like that's a little far fetched to think, but yeah, it was just very awkward. And that was the only thing we caught. And then other like stuff like throughout the night, like you start feeling like you see stuff out of the corner of your eyes and all that. So yeah.
See, I couldn't trust my brain at any haunted place like that because like. I feel like even just like in my home, sometimes my brain will play tricks on me. I'm like, oh my god, it's a goblin hiding under my bed, and I'm like, Corbin, it's brand new. No.
So the crazy part is right there was while we were waiting, so we went down to like kind of introduce like especially me like to her, before we did the setup for the interview. So we're talking or whatever, and like I saw something out of the corner of my eye in this room, and like she stopped me. She's like, "Oh, you saw something up there, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "You want to go?" I was like, "Sure." So she let us go to the room. But Josh also saw something like maybe like a minute or something before I saw it in that same room. So yeah, it was crazy, man.
That's weird.
It was a cool experience, and then unfortunately the lady told me I wasn't allowed. Not the lady I interviewed, the lady who gave me permission to shoot there, told me I wasn't allowed to show it.
Right. She like randomly told you, yeah, you can't show this footage.
So what it was she said we couldn't shoot in the main lobby when there were people around. So I shot in the main lobby at like 3 a.m. and there was nobody around.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Whatever. But I think I have it up anyway. I still put it on. I was like,
fuck them. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that is cool.
Look it up. Union Station somewhere. Union Station. That's what it is. That's great.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like other, because like I'd like the idea of doing something like that, like a haunted, like ghost hunter type show, but do something with a spin on it. Now I remember when we did the Horror 48 back in 2019. This one team, I haven't forgotten it since because I think it's such a funny concept. They I don't know if theirs was found footage or what it was. I think it may have been. So they shot it. Their film was mockumentary style, and it was called Spectre Deflectors. And it's about these guys. It's a comedy series, or it was a comedy short film about these guys who hunt ghosts. And I thought it was hilarious. Like, it was clearly low budget. It was clearly, like amateur filmmaking, but it was funny. I thought it was a great concept about these guys that are hunting ghosts. And it's like, I feel like there's a lot of opportunity for some funny stuff there. Like, I literally saw that and I was like, man, if somebody else didn't already have this idea, I would turn this into a web series. This is the funniest shit ever. Like, the whole concept around it, like comedy ghost hunting, like these two idiots that don't really know their stuff, but they actually encounter a ghost. And it's like, what do they do when they encounter it? There's a lot of
that up
there.
Somewhere?
You can literally type it in on YouTube, under the Richmond 48-hour film project. It's called Spectre Deflectors. Maybe it's Spectre Detectors. I always mess the name up. Hold on. Spectre.
It came up. Probably right here. Yeah, 40-hour film project. Oh, they won.
I think they won.
They won winner of audience choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
That's what it was.
Check it out. They got like 500 views.
Yeah, that's what it was. Spectre Deflectors, Dadgum Productions award. They won the award for. Yeah, I think it was like best. It was like audience award. Yeah, it was super funny. I loved it. Yeah, had a good time watching that for sure.
Check it out.
Yeah, with Sutherland, I really wanted to do something that was like. I didn't want to have gore. I didn't want to have blood. I didn't want to have body horror. I didn't want to do that. I was like, I just wanted people to feel unsettled at the idea that somebody is watching you, and then they get inside your home and they're watching you from like the whole concept of somebody watching you from outside your home freaks me out. I've been that way since I was a kid. We didn't even move into this house until we had blinds put up. I'm just so weird about like people watching me. My parents' house, for example, like before, my parents live in a kind of secluded neighborhood, and they're on like 5 acres. Well, 15 now, but they had 5 at the time, and nobody else lived in the neighborhood. And they have this giant window. You've seen it, I think. They have a giant window in the back of their house, and they have all these open windows in the front of their house. I was talking to Chris about this the other day. I'm like, it fucking drives me nuts that my mom doesn't put any blinds or curtains or anything on any of these windows. It's just open. You can be walking from one part of the house to the other, and anybody can just see inside from the road. And I'm like, I hate that. It drives me nuts that people could just be in the woods watching me walk around and hang out in my den. Like, I always just hated, like, feeling like I'm sitting on the couch watching TV and there's just this giant window just looking out into the abyss of the woods. And I'm like, there's got to be somebody there. There's like a skinwalker looking right in here, just judging me for what I'm watching. Yeah, exactly.
Catch you.
So
it's a creepy thing, and I mean,
yeah.
Again, that was the whole idea of putting John outside. And, you know, just that being watched the whole time.
Yeah. And he moves with Cassie. Like, in the kitchen, he's staring at her. He's in the window, parallel to her. And then when she moves to Alan, when she starts flirting with him and kissing him, he's at the door. He's at the window at the door. And then he is at the first window when they're walking in, when she goes to the display cabinet.
You must have the deer watch it through the window.
That's so creepy. It could be a skinwalker. They shapeshift into deer. Yeah. Oh, I imagine a deer just watching you through the window. Oh my god.
I couldn't, bro. Oh, that'd be my cue to
That's our 48-hour film project. That'd be the scariest shit ever. All we need is a severed deer head. Do we know any hunters? Anybody who can guess that?
The 5 people on it. Do we know any hunters?
Do I need to go out? Do I need to go out and chop a deer's head off for this film? That's what I want to know. But yeah, like he moves with Cassie. So like when she's in the first window in the living room, he's there watching her walk to the display cabinet, and then when she walks to the fireplace, he moves to that window. So he's just like constantly just drawn to her the whole time. So yeah, I don't know. Just the idea of people just watching me outside just freaks me out. That's kind of what that was born from. Stop? I will not stop. We need a severed deer head for our next film, and I will not rest until I make this happen. Thank you. So, is this Kristen telling me to go to bed? No, she said she's going to bed. She says, "Congrats on the world premiere. I'm going to sleep because it's late." That's fair. That's fair. It is 1:40 in the morning, and we probably should wrap it up soon. If anybody has any other last minute questions you guys want to know about it, this is what we get for doing this late at night. We were talking about this earlier before we did the premiere. I was like, did we make a mistake doing this at midnight? I guess we'll find out. Trial and error.
I mean, it is what it is. Maybe we'll do another one.
It is what it is. We might do another one. I'd be down to do what I did with Batman, do like a whole director's commentary thing where we go through the film and talk about it. I'd be down to do that. Yeah, if you guys have any last minute questions, throw them out there. If not, we will go ahead and end it. Give you guys like a little 30-40 second window to ask some questions.
What's the news you're gonna tell them?
Oh my god, you forgot about that. So I don't know how many people are here left, but we do have some big news to drop. So if there's only a few of you, you'll be the first ones to hear it. Thank you for reminding me. I don't know if she's here in chat. JJ. So, when we did the Kickstarter, our last Kickstarter, we had a very, very kind donor help us hit our $5,000 goal in Kickstarter. And she went by the name JJ. That was awesome. So we raised $8,000 for A Raven's Call, our next film project. So, she emailed me recently, yesterday actually. She emailed me and said, call me, I want to talk to you about your film project, Raven's Call. Okay. So I called her today, and she just straight up asks me, how much do you need for this film to get made? And we talked a little bit, and she's like, I'm going to give you $5,000. I feel like the universe is telling me to do this. And she told me this cool story about how she wanted to use her money to help out with different animal causes, and typed in birds on Kickstarter, and A Raven's Call somehow came up, and she watched the campaign video and liked what we had to say about the project and stuff, and it was a really good phone call, and it was very productive. And needless to say, she donated $5,000 on today's second round of crowdfunding on Indiegogo. So as of today, we have now raised $13,000 for A Raven's Call, which is fucking insane. I don't know. I'm kind of blown away by it. Like, she alone has donated over half of the crowdfunding money, and I don't know if she's here. She might watch it later, but we're very, very grateful, and just so appreciative that you've done that, and help take this film to new levels, because we're constantly like, I don't know, the more we raise, X and I have been talking recently. This is not a confirmation, but the more we talk, we're like, could we make this a feature film if we raise a little bit more? Maybe 20,000? I don't know. So we got a lot to think about. We are, trying to figure out a lot of details right now, because there's a part of me that's like, what if we do a Sutherland feature that might be more cost effective? But it seems like a lot of people are really invested in the Raven's Call story, and I think a lot of people would like to see it expanded into a feature, but we'll see. We got a lot we're working through right now, but yeah. So that's the big news. $13,000 raised for A Raven's Call. So hell yeah, super excited, guys. All right, we're gonna go ahead and end the stream. Thank you guys to the few that came out. We love you guys. We appreciate you, and thank you guys for watching Sutherland. Check it out again. Watch it again if you want. Leave another big thing that helps with videos on YouTube. And I know people say this all the time. Leave a like on the video and leave a comment. It helps engagement, and it gets the video higher up in the YouTube search results, so more people will see it. So if you guys can leave a like and a comment on the video, I'd appreciate it. And there's also a Google form in the description, so if you guys want to leave anonymous feedback and review Sutherland and tell us what you like or what you didn't like, it's completely anonymous. You guys can do that as well. But anyways, thank you guys for coming out, and we'll see you guys again soon for maybe a director's commentary or something for Sutherland. We'll see.